Good morning. I'd like to show you a demo of my app and then I'll go through some of the code. So this is the home screen of the app, and now this shows you all of the tasks that are here, and on each one independently you can open and close, you can delete it if you want, or you can complete it, and it just shows that's done there so it's clear to see, and then you can choose to delete that when you're done. Now to add new to-dos, it's very simple. This button is disabled until we put a title and a description. That way you can't add empty or somewhat empty to-dos. Then we get this little toast here. That is from a library. That's from React Native Toast message library. It's just not as interfering as the other types, so that's why I put that there. Boom, and at any point we can go back here. Great. And now this is a scroll view. It's a flat list. So it's efficiently handling the scroll, and it scrolls quite nicely there. Okay, great. So now let's go through some of the code here. Now this is the entry point app.js. So this is where we store the state for the to-dos, and this is also where we have two use effects to maintain the local version of the to-dos. So on the initial load, because of this empty array, dependency array here, we restore the to-dos from async storage. We pass the set to-dos function in, so that can all be handled just by the function there. And then the same here, whenever to-do changes, we update the local storage of to-dos. Now I'll just quickly show you the data persistence that holds those two functions there. So I've just got my key there, it's just a single key. And these, as simple as I could make them, as self-contained, is you pass the to-dos, and when you do that, it'll save it. You pass the set to-dos, and when you do that, it'll fetch it using the key, and then it'll set to-dos to the my data that we just got. There's not a whole lot of error handling, because there shouldn't be many errors. But yeah, it just returns if there's an error. And that's for in the case of opening the app for the first time, stuff like that. Let's see, our style sheet, I've kept it all contained, all the styles within this style sheet, or most of the styles anyways. There's a few that are in line, but I tried to stay away from that. And then the colors, I didn't necessarily stick to all using these colors. Sometimes I just hard-coded a green or a red here or there. So let's start with the home screen. So this contains safe area view for having this area above and below. We've got the title, we've got a divider, then the flat list. So this is an efficient way of rendering. So each item calls render to do item. So that's each one of to-dos. To-dos is passed down through from app.js. That goes to render to do item. Now render to do item takes the functions of handle caret press, which happens there, handle delete press, which happens there, and handle complete press, which happens there. So it just takes those functions, and those functions are contained within the home screen there. Being a functional component, I wanted to keep these within the file rather than factor them out into some sort of abstract place. I feel like they're better here, even though it adds a bit of mess to this file. And then we've got the add new to do button down here, and then the other main screen is the add new to do screen, which we can get to by pressing here. I've got the handle save button here. Now there's no checking there, because the checking happens on the disable of on actually disabling the button there. Now my icon button takes disabled as a value, false is the default, and then if it's disabled we get a certain style, it turns gray instead of blue, and it also has a default an empty arrow function if it's disabled. Otherwise we take the on press there. So that's my icon button that I use throughout the app. Basically new to do inputs, that's this section here. You got the title input, description input, and that is new to do inputs. That's there, and that takes title set title, description set description, and that's just the use state and the setter for each of those. And then it's just a simple on change of the text box, update the state. That's how we maintain that, and then that state is held here, and then when we hit save we'll clear that state as well after calling new to do item with that title and description. Now new to do item is a function I've got here, and it just creates an object, a standard object, but it's got a few things here. We've got an ID, and that's just a random alphanumeric ID that's 10 digits long, just so that when it comes to deleting there's no double ups or anything based on title. Show expanded is set to false, is complete is set to false straight off the bat. We're a little bit over time, but that covers most of it, so thank you.